Sorry about that, babe.
After revisiting Eternal Ring on my PS5 Pro, I decided that I wanted to re-review it. Since it had been a while and despite the performance of my old review, I wanted to give it a Bits and Glory Modern glow-up. During this process, I was swept up by the hype of Eternal Ring, which led me to wanting to 100% the game. Before embarking on the 100% run, I decided to give RetroAchievements a check. In the past, I used it while doing a Silent Hill All Achievements run that ultimately ran into a roadblock and fell to the wayside. But I figured it would be a good way to kind of measure the 100% run of Eternal Ring. So I set up my PS2 emulator, did some routing, and began my journey. I plan on doing more videos like this for various retro games because honestly, the achievement hunt is fun, it's kind of a new way to experience and cover the games, and maybe these videos could help someone else who's also trying to 100% it. And a side note, look at these damn mitts on the fisherman. Are we sure that these hands aren't the Eternal Ring? Alright, we are back with another one of these voiceover videos. My god, this is going to be the longest one yet for me, so bear with me. This is going to be very off the cuff. This is the 100% like slow, long play version of the all achievement run. And I actually already recorded 18 minutes of this and I realized that I didn't mute my desktop audio, which meant that there was like double game audio going on. It's very distracting. But anyway, some main tips while we're slogging around here at the beginning of the game. Take your time, grind when you can. You're gonna need gem drops. You're gonna want to be as strong as possible to make sure that you're not dying all the time. We're gonna grab our first Ring of Magic over here before we get started. There it is. Slogged around a little bit, but it's okay. This is also the North Shore area for what it's worth. There's actually going to be 2 other rings here in the Waterfall Cavern, which is connected to the North Shore. One, for some reason, I decided not to grab. I have no idea why I didn't grab it now. I grab it later, clearly, but it's right behind the save spot that you guys saw on camera. But again, we grab it later. And there's also going to be, later on, you get the Ring of True Sight, which allows for you to backtrack and find hidden rings, basically. There's a hidden ring in here. But what we're doing right now is we're just taking our time, grinding, getting as much leveling and gemming as possible. Typically, I'll never go into this room, but because we need to create all the rings, these guys drop low-level wind gems. As you can see, feather gems right there. You know, it's all achievements, so we have to get to a bare minimum of level 60. I do grind all the way up to 99, because another achievement is maxing out like all of your attributes above 200. So I just want to get as strong as possible, get as many gems as possible, you know, while maintaining a decent pace, because Eternal Ring isn't the hardest game in the world. You don't need to go super duper slow. Not that difficult. Here in the research team headquarters, I left this in because for some reason I always go into this goddamn house and you really don't need to. You need to go to the next one, where you could hand over your ladder to the guy here. And basically he's going to take your sword and then give you a weapons thing to go give to the other guy to get your small dagger. I never understood this. I was talking with a channel member in the comments the other day. There's my first achievement popping for natural progression of the game. I never really understood that, other than maybe the sword's an heirloom and you don't want to get it damaged or something. I have no idea. I never understood why they take your weapon and then they give you another one. So it's not like a safety thing. I don't know. I digress. Speaking of the achievement popping, I'm going to hope sincerely that I show all the achievements popping on this video, but rest assured it did happen. You could check my RetroAchievements profile to see it, and if something doesn't appear, let me know and I'll do my best to describe through in the comments or whatever. This was a bit of an undertaking. I'm not even done, clearly. I have to do all the voiceover work for this. This is a very, very long video. So what we're doing right now is, obviously I'm upgrading my sword and buying a few other items as well. One of the achievements in the game for all achievements is to get every weapon, and I'm not sure, this might be the only time that you can get the small sword. If it's not, I don't know off the top of my head, but I would grab it here anyway, regardless, because the dagger kind of sucks. And I found that out firsthand when I did my speedrun achievement that you'll see after this portion of the run. That little icon that has the 10 down on the bottom, that's the speedrun thing. Beat the game in less than 10 days. So we're stopping off here at our girl, Marie Fowler. And she's going to give us the healing touch. And from here, we're going to pop over to the Trunks Guard, where he'll open the door, and we can continue on to the first real dungeon of the game, the Water Shrine.
We have no idea
Which,
what it's like.
it's funny, the first time I played it, I thought the entire game was going to be like this. The Water Shrine is definitely probably the most like Kingsfield-y type area. It's sort of labyrinthy. There's doors that you can unlock, you can come back, you know what I mean? Like, there's a bit going on. But kind of ends up becoming super duper linear after this, which is fine. It gives Eternal Ring some of its charm. So, what are our main goals going through here? We're going to kill as much of the enemies as possible, obviously, to continue to level up, get healing drops, gem drops, and the like. The most important things that we're going to need here for our 100% run. There are 2 magic rings, one of which I grab before the boss. There you saw my level 5 achievement pop. One that you'll grab after, or I do anyway. The boss itself drops a ring, and you'll also grab the fireball ring, which will allow you to melt off the ice off of some of these doors. You can actually craft the fireball ring, but you know, at this point you don't have the ability to craft your own rings, and you do need it to progress. And I think I mentioned it, but the boss does drop an attribute ring, the Ring of Insight, and obviously, you know, killing the boss and getting the water key, more achievements for natural progression, and also that starts the achievement, missable achievement stretch of killing the bosses without sustaining damage, which I think I leave the majority of the fight up in its entirety. I'm very, very, very conservative in it. You can be a little bit more aggressive than I was, but you know what? It worked, so who cares? So progressing here through the dungeon. Our 2 main goals before getting to the boss arena are getting the Ring of Magic, getting the Fireball Ring, and pressing the, I guess, switch. It's not really a lever or anything, to get rid of the waters. Very, very new Londo-like, huh? You know, with this unscripted voiceover, I will have to restrain myself from comparing to Modern From Software. It's just natural, something that just comes to me. You saw me pass by a door with red markings on it. You can actually come back later when you get the fire key. There's really no reason to. The items that are there are kind of just bullshit. For some reason I thought it was going to be some sort of like profound comeback, but it's really not. So I don't recommend you do it, because you kind of have to go pretty out of your way to do it anyway. So anyways, we were looting there. We grabbed the magic stone. Oh, another thing too, guys, save and save frequently. Also, this game gives you many opportunities and many save slots between the 2 memory card sides. So if you find yourself up against it or you're unsure about certain areas, make new saves, because then you can just reload, and if you completely screw up, you can go back and reload an older save. Highly, highly recommended, especially for all achievement runs. If it's possible, of course. Which in this game it is. And there you go, we got the Fireball Ring, which is our first magic ring, and allows us to progress in the dungeon and also do some more damage to the bosses. Pressing the switch on the wall here, which I didn't look at it here, but a certain NPC is messing with that switch who you find later in the worshipping area. But by the time you get there, he's gone. And now we have the ability to melt off those frozen doors. Boom. How about it? Working our way through here, and I believe that this will be our first Ring of Magic that is here. And we will be getting another later. And this messed with my brain on my first run around for the VO. I saw that 3 rings popped in that one achievement for the progress. Did the fireball ring count? I guess it probably did, right? Because I did not grab the other ring yet. So I do that after I kill the boss on the way out. Either way, going around, killing as much as we can. Again, we have to create every ring in the freaking game, guys, so we need as many gems as possible. And gems also double as currency in this game, so it's a good way to get specifically status. I mean, obviously you can craft rings to heal yourself and heal statuses, but it's a good idea to have the items anyway. And we need to buy more weapons. So anyway, we're on a path to the boss now. I'm gonna grab a save here in case we get hit, which we don't. This was legitimately one attempt. That's the, how do you pronounce it? Is the Shahagan? I don't know how to pronounce it, but it's the giant version of him. And again, the strats that you're gonna see in this aren't super duper optimal, but at the end of the day, it's a pretty much guaranteed way of not getting hit by him, so I'll take it. I'm pretty much just gonna stand back, keep my distance, and shoot fireball until he dies. He does kind of hop skip around a lot, but the good thing is if you get him, you can actually get him while he's hopping, but if you get him to shoot water at you, or do this, he's relatively stationary for a while, so you can kind of just bait out the fire and strafe a little bit. That's pretty much what I do. And we're able to not only kill him, but kill him without taking damage on the first attempt, which is great. I actually think all of the bosses that have the no-hit achievements, I actually do kill on the first attempt. I do. The only one that I don't kill on the first attempt is the giant cockatrice in the magic laboratory, which is funny because that one actually doesn't even have an achievement anyway. You'll see me, I think I kept it in the footage, I reload it to do no hit, but I didn't need to because it wasn't an achievement, so. So again, the fight definitely takes a lot longer than it should, but I'm just being extra careful. And there you go. We land the killing blow. Water slaughter. No damage. Don't forget to pick up the ring. I don't know what happens. Does the ring disappear when you leave the dungeon? I don't know. I don't know the answer to that because I never tested it out, but I will say this, just grab it. Not like it's Demon Souls where you have an item burden or something, so. And from here, we will continue on to the water dragon to get the water key. As you saw, I made the the wrong choice of direction there, and I was backtracking by accident, and I left it in because I like to show you guys the many mistakes that I do make. Regardless if I do challenge runs or if I do 100% runs, I still make plenty of mistakes. I am not perfect, and I never claim to be. So before you get the water key, you'll encounter one of the many unskippable cutscenes similar to the beginning of the game. Thankfully, the water dragon looks pretty cool. It's got pretty cool music, and the voice acting is not that bad on this guy, so. But after we have a little bit of back and forth here, and by back and forth I mean the water dragon just talking to Cain, you'll be able to grab the key, pop another achievement, and we can leave the dungeon, but before we do that, we do have to grab one more ring of magic, which I did not grab prior. And there you go. The Exshrined achievement, which requires you to beat the boss and grab the key. And that is a natural progression achievement, so unless you don't beat the game, there's no way to miss it. So now since we have the water key, we're able to open these blue doors. And again, same general strats, kill what's in my way, grab the gems. We're not on a time limit for this part of the run, so I'm not going to worry about it. But we need to get that magic ring before we leave. I will probably pop up, I don't know if I'm going to leave them on the screen entirely. We'll see. So I have scans from the Eternal Ring Discord of maps. I think they're from the Japanese strategy guide, which I actually have coming in the mail. But they don't have like total map keys on them, and they're in Japanese anyway, if so. So I do have, I believe they're hand-drawn maps by formerly kings-field.com, the NeoCities website. They have an Eternal Ring section. It looks like probably the same person that did the Kingsfield ones that are all over the internet drew these as well. They're really, really good, but they're super low res and low quality, so I don't know how I'm gonna deal with putting that on the screen. Because I'm doing 1440p videos and they're like 250 pixels wide, so I don't know. They'll look like shit if I make them bigger, but I'll probably plop them on the screen at the very least at the beginning of the dungeons, maybe. And I'll also, you know what, I'll link that stuff in the description, so anybody that's interested in this can find them as well. Shout out to that website, by the way. So here we go. We're gonna grab the final ring of this dungeon, and then we can just leave at that point. Boom, we got our 2 rings of magic, our fireball ring, and our ring of insight. And when we return to the headquarters here, the corrupted Captain Daryl has gone insane.
You little rats of the elders. Is that the best you can do?
It's one of my favorite quirks of the voice acting, actually, is the "is that the best you can do?"
Mine! Mine!
If you're gonna deliver that ladder, you'd be a lot better off doing it before.
So I literally just threw that in there because I keep talking about how bad his voice acting is, and I never actually like really played it in any of my other videos other than the Let's Play. So I just wanted to, give a shout out to the fisherman. Anyways, at this point everybody's dead and it's time for another boss fight, which also has another no-hit achievement tied to it. I think it's the Black Werewolf. So the easiest way to deal with these guys is to bait out a jump attack. If you back up, you will not get hit and you could land a strike and a magic strike, and sometimes you could actually double up, which I do in this fight. So I'll leave this, I believe I do this whole fight up so you can see it. Again, being conservative, waiting for an attack, which gives an opening. Not the hardest boss, either casually. At this point, if you've leveled up a little bit, you could basically just tank through it and eat damage anyway. But you can die if you're not careful. Here you'll see the double up. Yep. And there you go. We defeat the werewolf and then bury the dead in the cutscene, and we also defeated him without damage. Rest in peace to the homies. I see this often during all these runs. And now we can go through this area, which we couldn't go through earlier, with our water key, which leads us to a safe spot, but most importantly, our first ring creation station of the game. So let me just get this out of the way here. This is the 100% portion of the all achievement run. So yes, we're going to be making every single ring in the game, but the majority of those rings will be created at the end. Right now, I'm going to focus on mostly the rings that I need to beat the game. So we're going to be loading up on healing rings like Earth Heal, I believe, and then we go hard with Wind Magic. And here and there, I will create rings that we need if I have the goods to do it, basically, right? But otherwise, a lot of the rings that I know that I will not use, I just wait until the end. At that point, I have all of the magic rings that I need. I have all the gems that I need. For the most part, I actually did have to go back and grind for, I think, light and dark gems. I think everything else was good, but... so yeah, I'm actually going to shut myself up here. And through most of the ring creation stuff in this video, I'm just gonna let it play out. I'm probably gonna keep the volume low too, just because, why not? But if you want to feast your eyes, here it is. Otherwise, you could skip forward a little bit. I'll do my best to add as many chapters as I can, but it's a little tedious for me, so we'll see. So there you saw Earth Heal, and I believe I create a few more. Yep, zooming out, I definitely do. So I will shut up, and we can go from there.
Down the knowledge of the ancients. I shall pass down the knowledge of the ancients. I shall pass down the knowledge of the ancients. I shall pass down the knowledge of the ancients. I shall pass down the knowledge of the ancients.
Alright, and we are back after our first major ring creation of the game. Again, there will be more in the future, and I will also shut up during those. But for now, we are heading to the warship area, which for some reason I constantly, in my head, think it's the disposal valley, but no, it's the warship area. And this is an area, when I first played the game many years ago, how many years ago? It was 6 years ago, 7 years ago. It felt so much bigger than it really is. It is actually one of my more intriguing areas of the game. I don't want to beat the eternal ring content into the ground, but I'm not gonna lie, part of me is like... kind of... you know what? I'm gonna write that down right now. Again, off the cuff. I'm gonna make a tier list video here. Favorite areas. There you go. Okay. Maybe I won't. So what are the main things to loot here? Obviously we're going to continue to kill the enemies that are in our way to level up and get gems. We can get some wind gems here from the annoying butterfly poison enemies that are hard to hit. But the main loot is there is a magic ring which is kind of off to the side. It's definitely out of the way. There's also a hidden magic ring that you can get later with the true sight. And you also get the protect ring from this NPC over here. This is the dude that I was referring to earlier that's actually in the Waterfall Cavern. You can see him from afar if you look at a certain angle in a certain spot.
Looks like you've opened the water gate.
And he's actually, it appears later in the game to... where is he later in the game? I don't remember, but anyway. So that I believe is a missable achievement because you don't need to talk to him. But the protect ring is, I'm not gonna say it's mandatory, but I mean, when you go through the disposal valley, which is all poison, you kind of want it. So here's that veer off to the side that I was referring to earlier for the magic ring. And that's basically all this area has to offer. I think there's like a magic crystal, possibly a magic stone. Like there's a couple like, you know, consumables here and there, but yeah, that's pretty much it. And we will be coming back later to this one gazebo straight up ahead. That will have a hidden true sight magic ring, so. But, yeah, on to the Disposal Valley. Which is, this version of Blighttown, Farron Keep, whatever you want to call it from other From Software poison areas. Straight ahead is actually a path to the cliff forest, excuse me. Here is the Disposal Valley, and we're using the Protect Ring to prevent ourselves from getting poisoned. I actually recommend casting it before you step in because it's like completely RNG. I've been poisoned within like 1 second going in here. Anyway, lots to do in loot in here, surprisingly. So, there are 3 magic rings and 1 that you need the true sight for. There's a couple saves, well, not a couple. There's a couple saves. There's a ring making spot, and there's a warp later, which allows you to get back to the beginning of the game a little bit easier from the Windmill Area, which we haven't gone to yet. So yeah, doing the same old stuff here, guys. Just kind of exploring, looting, trying to get as much experience in gemmage that we can as we go along. Pretty sure that you can get 2 of the magic rings right away while you're here, and the 1 is blocked by a pillar 100%. So one of the mechanics with the Disposal Valley is when you go to the Cliff Forest, which is a completely optional area, but not for this run, you light these sconce statue things, right, with Fireball. And the Cliff Forest is directly above the Disposal Valley. So, you know, that's a little bit of the FromSoft stuff there. But you also saw me grab that bracelet. That's important for achievements. We need to give that to the one dude that sometimes sleeps on the ground in the tree hideout hub. Cloudy Gem is also pretty good too in terms of us getting, you know, better wind ringage. But yeah, the interactions with the light up sconces in the Cliff Forest, they move all of these huge stone pillars down from below. That's pretty cool. Pretty cool world building and stuff like that. I don't remember what I grab on the first way through. Obviously, you know, like I said, guys, we're gonna get everything eventually. And we have to backtrack through here no matter what. So I'm not necessarily like in a super duper hurry to grab everything, but we will grab this guy on the way out. Ring of Magic, and now there are 2 more that don't require the True Sight ring. And yeah, this is a pretty pivotal area of the game actually, because you can go to the tree hideout and you could also progress to the Limestone Cave. You have the warps, you can go back to the worshipping area. It's almost like a hub dungeon. But here we are in the tree hideout. I remember I specifically left that in for the lulz. So I was checking to see if that dude was sleeping or not, because in order to get all of the weapons, we have to steal the stiletto. You can't get both the rapier and the stiletto on one playthrough, which is pretty annoying actually. I actually did try to come back later on my casual playthrough and steal it while he was sleeping, and it was not in the box, which you'll see that's where it is. So anyway, decided to jaunt into the Cliff Forest here, presumably to kill some time. Also, there is an achievement tied to what you see right here. These hornet nests have the chance to drop dragon eggs, and one of the achievements is to have 5 dragon eggs in your inventory. You'll see later, I just straight up come back there later in the game and farm it. So now it's nighttime, and this dude should be asleep. And I actually think this is a separate achievement that's not... Yeah, it is, that's right, okay. So since he's sleeping, we can get access to this, and there it is. The stiletto. Yeah, he tells you to come back after you meet Lila, and he says he'll give something to you, but that's complete bullshit. You have to literally steal it from him. You might be able to come back and get it to him, but it's easier just to steal it. So we reloaded our save because you can't get both the items, and what we're doing now is we're handing over the bracelet that we grabbed from the Disposal Valley. We got a Ring of Magic, I believe, in return. And this is also tied to an achievement. So now, since we gave him the bracelet, the merchant is going to give us the rapier.
The mission if there's anything you need.
And that's pretty much what I was referring to earlier, is you have the choice of either the stiletto or the rapier. In my opinion, if you're doing a casual run, you should just go for the rapier. It's just quicker and easier. By the time you get here, it's probably going to be daytime anyway, so... And now I'm just doing some general gearing. We also need to buy the... Don't even know how to pronounce that. But it was a sword that the vendor had. and we bought it. Because we need to get all the weapons in the game. So technically that dude has 3 weapons, but you can only get 2 at a time. So guys, if you're going for the 100%, don't forget to save there. Because if you don't, and then you just keep playing and you don't have saves to go back to, you'll have to play through again to get the stiletto. Or the rapier, whichever side you choose to do. And we're just messing around here in the tree forest. Like I said, if you knock down the thing, there's a pretty high chance to drop a dragon egg. We need to have 5 in our inventory in order to pop that achievement, which we will do way later on. And also, guys, the cliff forest is a really fucking tough area. Like, no bullshit. It is... Where you can encounter it, it is definitely like the hardest area in the whole game to me. Because by the time you get here, you're going to be underleveled. They do warn you in-game as well. They tell you how hard it is. Pretty much everything 1 and 2 shots you here. And if it doesn't one-shot you, you pretty much just get ganked anyway, and you're essentially dead in 1 shot. So there's our first dragon egg, and there you can see we almost get absolutely demolished in 1 hit. And let me tell you this, guys. The cliff forest has a lot going on. There are 6 magic rings, a power of time ring, and a power of growth ring. In order to get the power of growth, you need to complete, you know, the puzzles of the cliff forest, which again revolves around lighting the sconces. You can get the power of time ring basically whenever. The magic rings are pretty tough to find. A lot of them are just like on the ground, and you'll see. I leave some of the footage in. I struggle a little bit to find them. One of them is really tricky. I cut, like, I'm not even kidding, probably like 8 minutes of footage out. There's one by one of the save spots. It's literally like in a tree, basically, and I had no idea where it was. I was looking around forever. And here you could see me trying some long distance fireball shooting. And it worked. Pretty sure you don't need to do what I just did there, but you know, if you can, why not? Show off a little bit. Yeah, lots to loot in this area. It's completely optional, but in terms of, you know, 100%ing, it's... Hey, we got killed. Just wanted to leave that in to show you guys how quick and easy it is to die. But yeah, if you need to 100% the game, there's a lot to do here. And there you saw we ascended to level 15. Again, I tried my best to get all those achievement pops in, but sometimes I think I forget 1 or 2 maybe. So for this, I will definitely leave the map up on the screen. I pretty much am going to do that all the time anyway. It's a confusing area. Obviously, visibility is very limited. The enemies are very tough. There's, you know, puzzle mechanics. So, as mentioned, the 1 magic ring is by the save spot in a tree. And then in the main area, I guess you would say to the... I mean, on the map, it's to the west. There are 5 magic rings all scattered about the main area. Offshoot power of time, and when you finish all the puzzles, you can get the power of growth. And there you just saw me kill one of the enemies who only has a stick, a club. He has a guaranteed drop of the Elder Dragon Fang, which raises all of your stats, so that's why I included it there. Very helpful in general. And here you see me putzing around for that aforementioned ring by the save spot, not having a clue where it is. But we will find it shortly with the power of video editing. I now know, after reading online, that it's up here somewhere and not down below. So I start looking around. Maybe it's by this tree. Nope, it is right over here. You want to talk about a friggin' ring that's like impossible to find unless you have too much time on your hands or a guide? That's one for you right there. Holy crap, guys. So anyways, the hardest ring is out of the way. And now we are going to be looking around for the others. Again, I'll leave the map on the screen. Obviously the footage will be here. I don't have any crazy sage wisdom other than take your time. And on my casual Let's Play, I think it might have been 3 or 4 of the rings, and then I accidentally fell off the cliff. So just be careful here. It's so many ways to die. So many ways to die. So if you see that jittery walking, it's because I'm smashing the X button, hoping to find something. Some of them are a lot easier to see than others, I'll say that. I think this is where I might give up and just go grab the simple one, which is in a chest in the middle, but there are 4 other rings surrounding it. So there's Ring of Magic number 2, and there are 4 more remaining, all in this general area. There's 1. Light some more sconces. There's 2. But we still need 2 more from this general area. Lots of enemies, more sconces to light, so be careful and be prepared, people. That one seemingly floating in the air. Can't remember if that was a PS2 emulator thing or if it was like that in the other version. Either way, we have 1 more Ring of Magic remaining, and then obviously the final 2 are clearly defined as to where they are. One being around a corner with an ambush and the other being a puzzle. I'll be honest too, I don't know if I got all the sconce lightings done on video. But if I didn't, again, just check out the map. So we're looking for that final Ring of Magic in this area. So there it is. See? Didn't even really see it, just kept clicking and it was like super duper off to the side. So again, don't know if I got all the sconce lightings on camera, but at this point of the playthrough, what you're seeing I did, aside from this guy, which should allow us to go get the Power of Growth ring in the other side, kind of the northeast. But foist. Let's go grab that Power of Time ring. So this is an ambush area. There's like a little guy here, and then it gets followed up with a bunch of, basically a gang squad. And I'll be honest with you, I can't remember if I die here or if that was on my Let's Play. Could have been both. Something tells me I do die. I think I end up, yeah, I end up like, well... See, when you play multiple times, it's hard to remember. Yeah, I die. I was gonna say, if I didn't approach it from the other side, I know that I die, so... Anyways, thankfully, I saved off camera. You guys didn't see it, so I just had to reload and come back over here. I didn't have to go find all those rings of magic again. So we're gonna kill this guy and then basically just go on in, hope for the best. It's actually pretty easy to skirt around. And I also think technically you can get these guys to fall off the cliff pretty easy as well. So yeah, we have essentially done everything here, except getting the Power of Growth ring, which actually pops off another achievement. for the Cliff Forest area. There you go. Trees want to grow. So yeah, we're done here now. The only thing that we're gonna do is obviously we're gonna come back later to get dragon eggs, but other than that, there's really not much else to do unless you want to grind for more gems. And I mean, they give decent experience and stuff here too, but we have better ideas for future grinding, which I will go over later. Or if you're following the channel, you probably saw my short already anyway, regarding the Cockatrice and the Sealed Labyrinth. So our goal now is we're actually going to go back through the Disposal Valley, and then we're going to head to the Limestone Cave. But first, stock up a little bit because we got a bunch of gems there from our expedition. Oh, apparently I'm making rings. So I'm trying to go off of my my little preview in DaVinci Resolve, and it's showing me the Limestone Cave. Doesn't appear to be too long, so I'll stay on this time. Actually, I do still have my notes, I think. What would this be? We might be making Tornado and Imprisonment during this session. Don't quote me on it, but I think that I do. This definitely looks like I'm heading towards Tornado, I think. And Tornado, for the most part, carries you. Good stuff. Looks like I'm deep in thought at this point. I didn't do a good job of editing this part. So I will fill the dead space and dead air with some talking. What do I do here? I feel like I do make Imprisonment. That little hesitancy might have been me not sure. Like, you know, I'm essentially going to be making a magic ring that I don't care about. But let's see. Is that what I did? I might be kind of weighing my options right now, because right now I pretty much only have like a crap ton of water and leaf gems. And yeah, I don't know, what was I thinking here? Why did I not cut this more? I don't know. Maybe I just wanted to give you guys the full experience of truly how frustrating and clunky it can be at times trying to get every single ring in the game, because it's not as simple as just throwing everything in there and hoping for the best. Obviously you have a finite amount of magic rings that you could use as bases. Obviously like attribute rings and stuff, as long as you keep farming for gems, you can keep trying infinitely almost, but yeah. Gotta make sure you're doing the right things. I definitely had a few resets where I used magic rings as like a foundation and flubbed something up, and then I had to start over basically. So I'm going to assume we're getting close to the end of the clip. Probably like another 30 seconds total. So I'm going to assume I finally bite the bullet and make the imprisonment ring here. Any day now, Cody. Or not, who knows? Damn, I was like super meticulous too before this, so I don't know what the hell what was I smoking? It's too late now though. I edited the whole video and I've already started my voiceover, so we're rolling with it. I'll probably make a chapter mark for this one. I think pretty clearly I was looking at, yeah, I was looking at my combinations that I could do. So, after a long, hard thought process, we finally moved
Pass down the knowledge of the
imprisonment.
ancients.
And I think that actually might be where I need to take a little break myself here. We'll see. Show me imprisonment. Alright. Alright, working our way back through the Disposal Valley. Pretty quickly, actually. You can get to the Limestone Cave from here. But I'm also wondering, do I backtrack? Because there is a ring of magic that I can get to right now. Guess we'll find out very soon, huh? So that is the entrance to the Limestone Cave right here. Do I go for the gold? Yes, I do. Okay. Again, the beauty of not having a script and just doing a live voiceover. So this area right here is actually tied to an achievement. Pretty much if you attack the Earth Dragon and then run off the screen to the next area, you get an achievement. So I think I try to do that here, and I wanted to show the fact that, you know, simply doing like wind cutter stuff doesn't work. I'm pretty sure you have to use a summon. I end up using the Dark Dragon summon, which does aggro the Earth Dragon. To my knowledge, I don't think you could even kill the Earth Dragon. I kind of wish you could. I mean, if you're able to aggro it and then, you know, escape or whatever, I don't know, I just kind of wish you can kill it, but even at a super high level, I think it insta-kills you. Anyway, enough trying to peck away at him. Let's go to the Limestone Cave, where we will have 3 main things to get, and thankfully none of them are hidden with true sight. So there's going to be 2 magic rings in chests, and there's also going to be a Power of Branch ring in a chest. I'm not a huge fan of the Power of Branch. I think it can be pretty useful with certain spell combinations, but for what I do, like Tornado and Power of Seek that we get later are pretty much all you need. But this area is actually rather large, and it is kind of multi-platformed towards the end specifically. But yeah, there's only a couple of chests here. We're going here to grab the Phoenix Gem. That's the first chest that you're going to encounter. And then when you go up and around, again, I'm going to put the map on the screen so you can visually see it a little bit better. The further you go to the west, there's going to be a late branch off. And then the southern path will get you to the Power of Branch. Again, with the multi-tiered area towards the end of this area, it could be actually a little confusing, but it's not too bad. Plus, this is another spot of the game that gives pretty good experience and gem drops without a lot of hassle. Highly do recommend having Tornado here though, because it destroys those golems. Anyway, there's the Power of Branch, so now there are going to be 2 more magic rings. The first one is going to be at a path split towards the save spot. Instead of progressing normally, you would go the opposite direction. Over here being guarded by these golem guys. I would look up what they're actually called. Actually, I can do that real quick. Let's see. What are they actually called? They're literally just called golems. So I was correct. Cool. After you clear out the area, obviously you could loot very freely, and there you get another Ring of Magic. And there will be one more that's a little tricky to get to, but it's not too bad. Here's a save spot. You can make more rings if you want. Directly across, you could actually go back to the tree hideout, but I don't recommend doing that because you can't get back up and you have to go back through the Disposal Valley. But it is cool to have a little shortcut there in case you need to stock up on items and whatnot again. So realistically, the majority of the the Limestone Cave is going to be progressing through naturally, killing enemies and grabbing gems and finding one more magic ring, which is towards the tail end before you leave to go to the mine ruins, or the mines. See, so many enemies here. And the ones that don't have the rock slings, they're so easily interrupted. It's just very, very easy to kind of farm off of them. And you can see here, these rocks don't do much damage either, so kind of worthwhile, right? But I did always find it weird that the rock sling guys have so much more poise than the main ones. Also a lot of good enemies to farm here too, because I think a lot of them drop like, what are they, magic, like the MP replenishment items, the lower end ones. Can't recall what they are off the top of my head. Jewels, gems, rocks, I don't know. And there you go. So we got the 3 most important items and we are now free to leave. If you see the NPC, you know you are approaching the end, and actually you don't even need to talk to him. I think I probably engage in dialogue with him just because that's like my natural... You know, a lot of people will like skip dialogue and skip things all the time, but it's like in my natural ingrainment to continue on. And there is the said NPC. Again, you don't even need to talk to him. But I do for some reason. And then when you go right around the corner where he's going to walk away
Whether
to,
you're a knight or a mercenary, your
you will
most
be at the
important mission
mines.
is to return alive.
The mines?
I wish you luck.
I'll be honest. The mines... You know, I don't want to spoil any potential, you know, tier list power ranking video for my areas. It's not one of my favorite areas though. I think you could skip it, like when you speed run, you could do some weird like skip thing. And basically the entire, like you skip warp, I believe. Don't quote me on it though. I have no idea what I'm doing here, by the way, and I think I just kind of left that in to again show you. I don't really remember everything, but yeah, this is the gist of this area. Lots of platforms and switches. And that's about it. But we do have some things. We have more magic rings. There is the first one. Another one appears later on. It's actually underneath a moving platform, and you can grab it without even seeing it. And then sadly, the final one to get, you actually have to jump on it from above. In that area where we got the first magic ring, there's going to be these stone pillars. And yeah, you pretty much have to work your way to the end, jump on it from above and grab it. There's the one that I mentioned that was in the platform. And then you have to go through the area again, which does kind of suck, I'm not gonna lie. But again, another area that's pretty decent for experience. And here you can see exactly what I was talking about. There will be a magic ring over here. Bloop. Boom. You can barely even see it. But yeah, thankfully, you know, don't get me wrong, I made it look a lot quicker than it is. You know, the moving platforms are very slow. It's a very cumbersome process. But yeah, that's all that's really here. It's pretty much just a segue or a gateway to the Iron Mill, which is, honestly, it's I guess it's one of my favorite areas of the game. Yeah. Got some intriguing stuff going on in here. Interesting enemy variety. There's essentially like a puzzle. But yeah, there's gonna be 4 magic rings and a ring of clarity after the boss, as well as the fire key. So those are the most important things you're gonna get here. That first floor that I was on is relatively unimportant other than coming back to get the fire key and having a save spot. You're gonna be doing the majority of your stuff here on the second floor. Now these enemies are really annoying. They have the ability to silence you, and they're crazy fast. I just got silent. Do I die here, actually? No, I didn't. I'd end up definitely getting effed up in some of my future runs, though, for like the speed run and the challenge run. Always good to grind on the rats, you know? In this room here, where we see our lost dead compatriot now, grab the first ring of magic, and there's a document there, which we do not need to read. But further along in that same area where the dead dude was, there's other branching paths you can go. There's going to be another ring of magic at the very end. So we're going to continue to take our time here and level up when we can. Unfortunately, these annoying guys are here, so just take your time. Take your time. If you can kill the one, I think there's 2 in here, you can get in and then get Tornado off. And if it is just one in there, you can kind of just push your way forward. It actually might have only been 1. This doorway to my left is not needed. Might as well grab this while you're here, and then if you go up and in, there's going to be another magic ring. Aha, this was the room that I was thinking of with 2 of them. Can be very, very annoying, and I definitely have a little bit of a tough time in here. But patience is the key, guys, I'm telling you. That dude's hitting you through the walls. Yeah, Tornado's so freaking good, dude. Anyway, Ring of Magic, so now there's going to be 2 more magic rings. But the last magic ring and the other ring of clarity that I was referring to is actually going to be in the boss room, so the next magic ring that we're going to get is actually sort of a puzzle. So if you take this lift up, you're going to have to do a mini puzzle to get the fire key, but you'll also have to do another puzzle. So we're going to do the fire key puzzle first, which is do this platform, go over here and hit the switch, which will open like lava flow, and the fire key will appear in the floor below. Actually, not the floor below, the floor at the start. But we're not done. We actually have to wait for the thingamajig to come back. It's probably the quickest way. I guess you could go down and take the elevator up again like we did to get up here in the first place, but you'll probably lose a couple seconds, so. Now we're gonna go around. And you can see those boxes over there in that door, right? That door is actually gonna house another magic ring. So, in order to do that, we have to go here and move one of the platforms and drop down. Guess I missed the button there. So the safest thing to do is just jump on the box, go in here, and I believe there's gonna be a golem. So we'll obviously tornado it up. Does he drop the ring? I think he actually does. Yeah, I think he did. I don't know. Either way, it's in here. And it would be easier to kill him anyway. So the way out is actually pretty cool. It's just another one of these little ramps similar to like the warship area. So we have to go back down to the floor below to get the fire key so we can open that door. And hopefully you cleared the enemies out of here, just make it easier for yourself. And we popped another natural progression achievement. Gonna go back up. Open the fire door, go through another set of doors, where we will be then grabbing the final magic ring of the area, a boss fight, and then grabbing the Ring of Clarity. That's gonna be our first true encounter with the corrupted Captain Daryl. I think he's a captain, right? Either way, I know his name is Daryl. Oh, Daryl. So pretty similar strats here that are kind of employed throughout. Circling, circle strafing, and obviously if you have tornado, all the better.
You disgust me. Die.
Obviously you gotta get a little close, but it just absolutely wrecks him. 2 or 3 tornadoes and the dude's dead. And actually, if you get really good RNG and the tornado just keeps hitting him all the time, he'll die very quickly. And there you go. Another progression achievement as well as another no damage boss achievement. Obviously, guys, there was that save spot down at the beginning of the level. If you want to make sure that you're not going to miss out on that achievement, I recommend saving before going in there. I forgot to mention that. It's pretty much standard practice, though. And off to the side here, we have the Clarity Ring, which will help, I think it reduces MP, right? And it might also boost your wind, which is great. And now we're in the River of Lava, which is an area that I'm kind of on the fence if I like it, but not terrible or anything. So there's like a couple of like side paths here, but they don't really lead to much. The main things that you're gonna want here, it's actually like two things basically. There's a magic ring that you can get in a chest that's very clearly seen. It's guarded by those like air balloon whatever enemies. You have to backtrack way later, and it's the most annoying backtrack in the whole game to get back here because you have to go through the mines and stuff again. To my knowledge, anyway. There's going to be a magic ring towards the very end of the level, and again, you have to backtrack to get it. And there's also going to be sort of like a mini-boss coming up, which could be pretty tough if you're at a low level, but if you're at a decent enough level and you have like Tornado, it shouldn't be that big of a deal. And there you see the main mechanic of this area, which is magic sealed doors. So, I just shoot Wind Cutter at it. The good thing is, though, these guys actually have the chance to drop wind gems. I do recommend killing them. And we're just naturally proceeding. And eventually, we're going to, well, first we're going to get to the magic ring. Here's the mini-boss I was talking about. It's kind of like a phoenix in a puddle of lava. But if your wind magic is high enough, you could pretty much kill it before it does anything, as I did. And it drops a higher level fire gem. I want to say fire dragon? Is that... It's either level 4 or level 5. I can't remember off the top of my head. And there is the magic ring I was referring to. Might as well just clear all these guys out while you're here. Tornado does a pretty good job of that. I think only 2 casts for me. For some reason they decided to go back to Wind Cutter. I don't know why, but it's fine. And we'll go ahead and grab that Ring of Magic. Again, guys, the other one that's here you cannot get right now. I'm pretty sure it's either literally not there, or the fire dragon just kills you. So either way, you can't get it. Whether it's that one or the other one. I also think I left this footage in. It's one of the funniest things. It's like this screen transition. Yeah, I think it might be right here. Yeah. You get like a loading screen transition because there's about to be like a cutscene and all this kind of stuff coming up, so. You meet up with the NPC. God, his name's like Matthew D. Ross III or some random, I can't remember what. It's such a funny name though. But eventually, when you get the chit-chatting, the fire dragon emerges, absolutely destroys Matt Ross. And then you finally meet with Lila. Look at that dramatic pause there. Jeez. Oh! Continuing on, again, fire dragon's coming at you. You'll probably see fire come through the wall there. You just gotta get through as quickly as possible. Pretty sure if you dick around, you end up dying. But there's no reason to die, just keep moving. And there will be a final magic seal door at the end, and you'll see Lila, who will then protect us. Turns out the fire dragon's Lila's dad. Pretty messed up, right?
It's dangerous.
Wow. We are protected, baby. Sadly, the protection does save us, but it knocks us out of the area.
Let me. I'll take care of this.
Well, not the protection, but the protection saves our lives, and then we get knocked out.
It's me, Lila. Please, calm down.
So do not forget, everybody. Other than, like, the ring hidden in the tree, or maybe the final ring that's on Lila's body with the true sight, this ring is one that people will probably forget. So don't forget it. And we just got yeeted. Alright. Magic Lab hype. So there's actually a lot to do here. This also serves as kind of like a end game hub, as you will have some warping opportunities, but most importantly for this run, we're going to have a bunch of magic rings and stuff to get. There's actually, I think, 4 that you can grab right away. One that needs the true sight ring. Obviously you can grab it now. And then there is a ring of sacrifice as well. So pretty much if you touch these pedestals that you saw me touch and get warped into this room, if you don't have the key, it warps you, and then you go through these hallways basically where there's enemies and loot and stuff. And there you can see we grab our first ring of magic from this area. And you head back out to the teleport and it brings you back to the key pedestal, if you will. So next, I believe we're going to go to the green key side, and there is a ring of magic right behind it. Popped an achievement there, but obviously that's not everything that we need. I didn't bother to warp to the green side because, quite frankly, there's nothing there. And here we go. Big cock fight. So this one doesn't have an achievement, by the way. So if you kill it without getting damaged, it doesn't even matter, but I end up reloading as I said I would. And we're gonna go down the yellow hallway here. Trying to kill this pesky guy who's giving me fits, apparently. You get a ring of magic. So there's a ring of magic in the yellow hallway, the blue hallway, the boss arena, in front of the green, or excuse me, behind the green pedestal, and there is a hidden ring of magic with true sight behind the yellow pedestal. So here we go, creating some more magic rings. Let me get my notes up and see if I even know what the hell I'm doing here. Oh, it actually looks like I might be creating a lot of rings here, guys. Let me zoom out, I don't know. I'll leave some VO, I guess. But this is part 4 of my recording, and I believe that I created the Ring of Storm, the Divine Ring, Banishment Ring, Material Arrow, and Ice Needle. Hopefully that's correct. Apparently I did flub up once during the footage. I don't know if I cut it out though. There's the Ring of Storm. Gonna enhance that wind attribute, baby. Alright, back to the cack. It's really not that difficult of a fight, and you'll see later in the sealed labyrinth what we do. And also, that's the thing, when you kill the Cockatrice, you actually get an instant level up, which is what we abuse in the sealed labyrinth. Upon death, it drops a dark dead gem, dark magic, if you will. And the Ring of Magic in this boss arena is actually right there, so you gotta look around on the windowsills. I'm embarrassed to say how long it took me. I edited a lot of footage out there. So now we are in the ruins area. Lots of good experience here, by the way, and if you need wind gems, if you're able to kill these guys, I recommend Tornado. They drop good stuff, and the living armor suit guys are also pretty good as far as experience and drops. The main things that are going to be here, there's going to be 2 magic rings, as well as this hunting sword. So the one magic ring, it's actually right by the hunting sword. You need the true sight ring to see it. So unfortunately we don't have that yet. But just off to the side, I guess you would say on the western side of this map, there's going to be a treasure chest with a magic ring in it. Right over here. And that's pretty much all there is to this area. Again, pretty decent experience gain enemies, if you will, with some decent gem drops. So if you want to farm here for a while, by all means. But otherwise, it's pretty much a straight beeline to the end. See all those gems? Gotta love it. And you do need them, clearly, if you're going to be making all the rings. And now we are headed to the library, where as soon as you enter, you saw me grab a magic ring. Literally the first room that you're in the one corner of the room, opposite of the NPC that's lying there, there will be a magic ring. Otherwise, there's not a whole lot here. There is another ring of sacrifice. And then at the very end of the area, there's going to be the power of seek ring, which will be very conducive with like tornado and wind magic, as it will track down the enemies. Looks like we're doing some more ring creation here, so judging by my notes, this is probably... Yeah, I think I end up making Divine Ring. Yeah, okay, so this is what I do. I make the Divine Ring, the Banishment Ring, Material Arrow, and Ice Needle, because we're going to do the Silent Library achievement, which the mechanic in the library is there's these elemental gargoyles. And when you kill 3 on each side, the elevator goes up to the next floor where you hit 2 switches and then you can go down and leave. But the gimmick with the gargoyles is whatever element of gem they have on their forehead, you can instantly kill them with that particular ring element. So let's say they have a blue gem. If you shoot Ice Needle at them, they instantly die. And the Silent Library achievement is basically you have to have those 6 elemental rings at your disposal, and in one go around you go kill them, and if you do that in one shot with each ring, you pop the achievement. So that is exactly why we are crafting right now, baby.
Down the knowledge of the ancients.
It's actually pretty cool. It seems pretty self-explanatory, right? That the gem that they have on them, they'd either be strong to it or weak to it, but for whatever reason I never noticed when I was playing casually, and it wasn't until trying to get the Silent Library achievement that I realized, oh. And then at the very end of the library, I guess I'll just, fill dead space here. There is one last gargoyle who doesn't have a gem, or it does, but it's like made out of stone or something, and that means that it's weak to physical. So if you attack it with your weapon, it'll die instantly. Sadly, that one doesn't really have any effect on anything, so it's just kind of for show, but a unique little ending to the gimmick of the library, I guess. Not a huge fan of the library, though. I feel like it's, I mean, it has like decent atmosphere, I guess, but it's a little too gimmicky and kind of short, which is actually a lot of my complaints with some of the endgame areas, but still a great game. Alright, so let's get that Silent Library achievement. There you can see, 1 shot with the Fireball Ring, 1 shot with Banishment, 1 shot with Material Arrow, 1 shot with Ice Needle, 1 shot with Divine coming up, and then lastly we're going to 1 shot with Wind Magic. And there you go, Silent Library. In 1 session, destroy every gargoyle in the library without fighting any of them. If you hit them with the wrong element or you hit them with your weapon, they end up flying up and you have a tussle on your hands. And from here, we're heading up to the 2nd floor. The main things to do here, clearly you need to hit the switches so you could advance, the game. But there is a Ring of Sacrifice in a chest. I believe it's on the eastern side of the library. Little hesitation here and there from me. The one side of the library with the magic butterfly things, I don't think there's any enemies that could actually damage you. The other side though does have enemies that can hurt you. There you go, sacrifice ring. All right, so our goal now is obviously just get in and out as quickly as possible, hitting those switches. There's really nothing else to do. Clearly, you know, you can kill enemies if you want. It's fine. But we basically have done everything that we need to do in here, aside from the very final area. So now we headed off to the other side, and we're doing the same exact thing. We're gonna look for one of those switches. And as I mentioned, this side has enemies that could hurt you. As you can see, I'm cursed right now, I believe. And now that we've hit both switches, on the first floor there was like a hole in the ground, right? And now it's pretty much activated an elevator for us to skedoodle. Which brings us to, I guess quite possibly, arguably the most important area of the game in terms of getting a 100% run, which is the Windmill Area, which allows us to warp back to the Disposal Valley, giving us a good, you know, access point to almost everywhere in the game. Quickly. They're the aforementioned enemies that I was talking about. And now we're just gonna head down and go down that elevator that was non-functional before flipping both of those switches. There it is. So down here there's gonna be kind of a long corridor where there's really nothing to do. Again, the gargoyle that's at the end of the corridor can be killed instantly with an attack. Don't know if I knew that or not during this run, so I might just fight it normally. But after that, you get to an area which allows you to teleport back to the magic lab, as well as grab the Power of Seek ring, which we will be using. Here's the aforementioned corridor and the gargoyle coming up. So this guy is killed with a strength strike, but for some reason, I don't think I do that. It'll be engage in fisticuffs. Alright, and after disposing of him, we head on through, grab the Power of Seek, and as I mentioned, the teleport behind here brings you to the magic lab, and to the left will be the Windmill Area. And there you saw a natural progression achievement pop. I think though, if you can't get that achievement if you don't grab the Power of Seek ring, which you obviously can beat the game without grabbing it, so don't forget it, guys. It's there, and it's very good. It basically, like, sets a homing situation onto most of your spells. And now we are out in the Windmill Area, and for some reason I'm taking in the view, and I didn't cut that out, but it's fine. This is Lila's house. She lives in a windmill. How about that? Most important thing here, obviously, she gives you like a huge lore dump as well as the document over to the right, but the True Sight ring is here,
This is my house.
which allows you to see all of those hidden rings that I was referring to.
I'm all alone here. You're from Solsha, so I think you need to know the truth. It's a long story. In this land, there once existed a civilization the magician, so when the cage they
I think I had another brain fart where I probably should have cut this down for you guys, but I didn't. As you can see, she has a wealth of knowledge for you to retain. It's actually pretty interesting. It's pretty much the most interesting section of the game as far as like dialogue and lore.
You stay right here.
And if you're interested in more, that book over on the table, I think it's written by her mother. So ultimately we're going to be following Lila into the underground lake. But first, grab that True Sight ring, which again allows us to see all of the magic rings that are hidden. And you can see that we did pop an achievement there by continuing to talk to Lila. But you didn't necessarily need to see about 20-30 seconds of that. It's fine though. So since we put that on, there's also going to be a ring of magic that has now appeared, and that is exactly how the True Sight ring works. You literally cannot grab them unless you have it on. So even if you know they're there, You cannot grab them. So I warp back to the magic laboratory where I'm going to assume that I'm going to pick up the ring that was invisible behind the one pillar. And there it is. And we are now going to grab the aforementioned ring that was right by where the sword was. A little bit easier to see here in the daytime. There you go. And as I mentioned, around Lila's house, the windmill, there is a warp back to the disposal valley, where we can now also grab a ring that was not collectible before. It is right by the entrance to the Limestone Cave. As always, I highly recommend that you make many saves in case you do screw something up. Again, having the ability to do 2 memory card slots with what, like 8 to 10 saves per slot is very convenient. I do find myself probably running into issues with other RPGs, trying to get all achievements on hardcore mode without as many saves. And I was correct. I was pretty sure that I missed that earlier. But I mentioned it and you guys see the maps, so we do go back and get it eventually. And this was previously blocked off by one of the cliff forest pillars. And as I mentioned, this was an invisible ring of magic by the entrance to the Limestone Cave, and I believe that we have everything that we need now, so we headed back to the tree hideout hub area, and there was like a little ledge at the very top that you can go out on, and it, you know, other than it being scenic, this is the main purpose. There is a ring of magic that is hidden with true sight. And now we're going to continue on, and I believe that we're going to probably grab the warship area one in the gazebo next. Ultimately, we're going to be heading back to the sealed labyrinth where we're going to find more rings and do more stuff and grab more weapons and get more achievements. But here is the aforementioned gazebo that houses the invisible ring of magic. Traverse our way back through here. Obviously. We going back, baby. And again, the water shrine red doors are not needed for all achievements, but hey, if you're over here and you want to stop back and go do it, be my guest. But I remember feeling very disappointed when I did it on my casual run. It didn't really yield a whole lot of much of anything. So we are backtracking all the way to the Waterfall Cavern, where there is another true sight ring on this bridge. And I believe since I'm here, I'll probably grab the one behind the safe spot that I missed. Again, you should just grab this at the very beginning. You might as well. It's right there. For some reason, I just forgot about it until now. And we are, I believe, headed to the sealed labyrinth. In order to get in, you need a light or dark magic ring. I will be using Divine since it is basically the first one that you can create. Then we're going to have our descent into the sealed labyrinth abyss, which will yield wonderful loot. We will be doing a lot of things in there, which we will be covering. But again, you have to use the light or dark magic to get in, and basically have at it. Sealed labyrinth hype, everybody. So, sorry, I'm readjusting my entire setup here on the fly. So the main things that we're going to be taking out of the sealed labyrinth, aside from a multitude of wonderful gems, is going to be more collections of magic rings, ability attribute rings, and even weaponry. So here on floor 1, there's going to be 2 giant shahagins that will be dropping magic rings, and I found the easiest way to deal with them is just to use Divine, because they're incredibly weak to Holy. And the other one's actually going to be just on the opposite side here. So where we are right now, you just kind of cut across. Again, I'll put the map on the screen so you'll see. Really the only difference here is they have the Balloon Bros. I do have a little bit more trouble because of that in here. But same deal, try to get off the Divine spell if we can. It'll one-shot them and drop the magic ring. Using Tornado with Power of Seek to try to take out the other baddies. And the one thing that I honestly failed to mention, this is a hidden, optional endgame type area. You pretty much get 1 and 2 shotted by these. Like, if this dude hit me, I'm basically dead. So you have to be very, very, very careful when you're in here. There we go. We're going to pick up the other Ring of Magic. And now, on the way to floor 2, there's going to be another one, but it'll drop the Ring of Fortune. So we're going to use the same strats here. And also, I left that in for a reason. That enemy right there that you're seeing me kill now, he's also in the room with the giant Sahagin, however you pronounce it. And yeah, as you saw, I basically got hit and died instantly. So that's my precautionary tale. So anyways, now that I've lured him out and taken care of him, I could safely deal with our boy here. I'm actually surprised that didn't land, but it's all good. And after killing this dude and picking up the fortune ring, that's really all there is, other than, you know, obviously, if you want to come back here and farm for specific magic gems, which, again, great gem drops. There you go. Fortune ring, and I recommend always when you make progress, leave and come back. Yes, it's a little bit annoying, but you can go save at the Waterfall Cavern so you don't lose all your progress. And now we're going to move on to floor 2, where there's going to be 4 rings, 2 magic rings, 1 on each corner of this level of the Labyrinth, and then 1 room where enemies drop Create Life and Dark Pact, which are also rings that you need. So this is also a great floor for light and dark gem farming. The suits of armor drop them. Those crabs that we just passed drop them as well. But I'm actually starting to think that I'm bum rushing to floor 3 so we could start grinding. Floor 3 has the ability to constantly spawn cockatrices, whom, if you kill them, you level up instantly. So I think that's exactly what I'm doing. We're heading to floor 3. We obviously have to go back to floor 2 to get all the loot. But there's a pretty good, like, repeatable grind route here, which I'm going to show off. And I also made a short about it, but I do highly recommend having Tornado and Power of Seek. You literally just make a right. There he is. It usually takes around like 2 tornadoes if you have decent wind magic. And there you go, instant level up. So you basically just keep rinsing and repeating. You can go back to floor 2 and immediately back to floor 3 and grind to your heart's content. And I don't know if I do it right away, but eventually I do grind all the way up to level 99, obviously to make the game easier. But we also have to hit level 60 for a final achievement pop for leveling, and eventually we need to have all of our stats above 200 anyway, so. So I think this is going to be the level 60 pop, question mark? There you go, Ceaseless Circlet. I think that's the final leveling pop, but again, we're going to go to 99 anyway. So, now we're going back to floor level 2. In order to loot the area of the 2 said magic rings and Create Life and Dark Pact. We are currently in the room with the enemies for Create Life and Dark Pact. Thankfully they get absolutely trounced by Power of Seek and Tornado. So there you go. And now, in order to get the other magic rings, I had mentioned they are on basically polar opposites. So the top right, or northeast, and the bottom left, or southwest, will house the final magic rings. And again, another great area to grind, especially if you are in need of light and dark gems. Don't really know why I'm wasting my time in here. I mean, I guess it can't hurt to get some extra experience and possible drops, but that was, you know, wouldn't really recommend doing that. Hey, we did get a light dragon gem though, so there's that. Maybe they drop that? These guys drop, let me check my chart here. Oh, I take that back. Everybody drops light and dark gems on this floor, basically, other than the assassins. So, I did not realize that. But the living chainmail is like the easiest farm, in my opinion. So there you go. Need a lot of light and dark gems? Have at it. Anyway, let's continue on and get those rings, shall we? I have no idea why I'm so dead set on taking care of that dude. Anyway, there's the one magic ring, so now let's go get the other. As I mentioned, it is in the polar diagonal opposite of where we were. And note to self, just use Tornado there. Clearly he deflected the holy spell anyway. And that'll do it for floor 2, other than, again, grinding. So we're going to be moving back to level 3. Floor 3. Continuing to grind on the cockatrices, and floor 3 houses 3 magic rings and a burn edge ring. There are multiple cockatrices. There are also, what are these guys called? Bone fencers. They're pretty tough. The thing that makes them most tough is that they have this little bird dude that runs around and like eats all your magic. Otherwise they'd be a lot easier and die a lot quicker. And as you can see, I got myself in a precarious position there, but I was able to fart around and kill all the other enemies and now just get these 2 guys solo. While they are very difficult and can paralyze you, they have a very, very simple pattern. You just need to really take your time. And one of my gripes with the game is being hit with projectiles from super far away. You can see a cockatrice is like firing at me from fucking miles away, seemingly. There you go. But friendly fire, in terms of the enemies, exists in this game, so that's always positive. And I'm sick of his SHIT at this point. I realize I've cursed a few times, but I'm trying to tone down on the swearing. Be a family-friendly channel, right? So we're gonna take care of you, level up, and be able to, you know, go back to the bone fencers. Also note these types of enemies, as well as the floating guys and the cliff forest type enemies that are in here, the lizard men. They all have a propensity to drop dragon fangs for all of the elements. So very, very useful if you're trying to buff up a certain elemental type. There you can see it looks like wind and water, right? And the further you go along, they drop other elements, and on the final floor there's actually a pretty good grind spot if you're like, you know, if you're strong, willing, and able, of course, to get Elder Dragon Fangs, which buffs up all of your stats. So back to these guys. Right now there should be no other enemies trying to ruin my day from afar. As you can see, it's very very rhythmic and pretty much the same patterns over and over again. Fortunately, if you do get hit, you do get paralyzed, but even when you're paralyzed, you could still outmaneuver them and attack them. And there's one down, dropping one of the rings. And we now must vanquish the second. Take that. And there's the other ring. There's still one more magic ring on this floor, as well as the burn edge. So we will continue on. That was the aforementioned floaty guy. We're gonna constantly just pop those, because why not? There you can see another cockatrice shooting through the wall, very annoying. But you know what we can do? We can go in and deal with it. And that's what we're gonna do. Get another level in the process. And pick up the Ring of Magic. So now we have all 3 rings of magic from this floor, and all we need left is the Burn Edge ring before we can retreat and go to the final layer of the labyrinth. Another cockatrice awaits us. And there you go. The Burn Edge ring. Good stuff. So now, obviously, if you want to continue to grind here, feel free. Otherwise, we can go to the final floor of the labyrinth. Which again, I'll have the maps up so you can see where the teleport thing was. So, the main things here in level 4 are the animated sword ring, Kaiser Knuckle, a final magic ring in this area, as well as an eternal blade, which is basically the Moonlight Greatsword. We have to deal with one of these guys pretty easily, as you can see. And they drop the Kaiser Knuckle, which is an insanely strong weapon. It lowers all of your stats, but it buffs your strength a lot. And it's very quick, but it doesn't have a lot of range. But obviously you need it anyway for the weapon achievement. Now, on the other side, there's going to be an extremely easy enemy to kill that drops the animated sword ring, and that's the one that pretty much breaks the game, where you can just mash attack constantly. I do want to point out that there are 2 other alcoves before this that have like bone fencers and various floaty enemies, as well as crabs, I think, and I believe most of them have the ability to drop Elder Dragon Fang. So if you feel like going in there, feel free. I'll be honest, I actually didn't quite realize that, and by the time I realized it, it was like pretty much too late. I was trying to get the achievement to get all your stats up, and I wish I noticed it earlier, but it's fine. We got it done at the end of the day, and it didn't take too long. But as far as actual loot goes, you just continue on, and you have to deal with a bit of an onslaught and a gold bone fencer, who I think is technically the strongest enemy or boss in the entire game. And then upon defeat, you get the final magic ring and the eternal blade. And then you're technically done, unless you want to continue to farm for levels, upgrade materials, and gems, of course. It's always open for you to do that. Here we go. Only thing that stinks about the Kaiser Knuckle is the limited range, as you can see here. Trying to kill these guys could be a bit annoying. These guys also are positioned in an annoying fashion. I tried to come in here at a low level in one of my other runs for an achievement, and I had a tough time. I kept dying. Do you see how fast the attack is with the animated sword ring? It's absolutely bananas, man. Absolutely bananas. There you saw the Elder Dragon Fang drop, which I was referring to. Prior to that, other than drops in the Labyrinth, I think the only other place you can get it is that guaranteed drop in the Cliff Forest. But yeah, if you come in here with the ring that buffs your item discovery, they'll basically almost all drop it. Alright, so now it's time to deal with the gold bone fencer. There you saw the teleport portal to get out of there. It'll send you back to the beginning of the sealed labyrinth, and he looks pretty cool. I like his drip. Look at that. Basically, we're just gonna punch the shit out of him. When we can. It's a little tricky because of the limited range. And there you saw the sheer power that this man possesses. Basically, you get two-shot by him, and we're at a really high level, too. Same strats as the other one, though, just kind of circle strafe, wait for him to shoot his little dark attack, and go in. Man, this dude is a tank. We've hit him a bunch so far. And there you go. That should be the final weapon of the game to this point, since we got all the other ones, and there is the final magic ring of the sealed labyrinth. Only a few remain there. And there is our personal armory, acquire all weapons achievement. So yes, you need to go through the sealed labyrinth, as there are 2 weapons here, the Kaiser Knuckle and obviously the Eternal Blade. And clearly on top of all the rings that are here. So there's another achievement, defeating the Bone Emperor, getting the Eternal Sword, and leaving on the teleportation device there. So we are technically done with the sealed labyrinth, but I do return in order to get all my stats up and continue to grind for gems. I don't remember if I show you guys or not. Tough to remember when you have a video like this over the course of multiple days. But yeah, good stuff. We're in a good position here to really steamroll the end of the game. Oddly enough, I think that one achievement's the Steamroller achievement, right? I think I'm probably showing off right now the light and dark gem farming situation on floor 2. And it looks like I did some more grinding off camera because my HP is pretty high. Probably killed a few more cockatrices. Here you can see these guys are incredibly hard, but now with our current get up level situation, they just go down in a pinch. But I do recommend grinding on the suits of armor. There's a pretty easy kind of looping path that you can go to, and yeah. Alright, now we're gonna chop off some other achievements here. We are farming for the egg dragons, which I mentioned in the Cliff Forest. Had to do this a couple times, clearly, before we got the 5th one. But we done, baby. 5 egg dragons in your inventory. And now we're gonna go mess with the Earth Dragon. I had mentioned earlier that like low-level spells don't aggro the dragon, and I don't know if this is the only way to do it, but when you use like a summon on the dragon, specifically I'm using the Dark Dragon summon, it works. But it's actually gonna be pretty funny. I left a little fail in for you guys. Probably shouldn't have spoiled it for the dramatic effect, but oh well, whatever. You'll see. So we're gonna head back to the from the Disposal Valley to the mine area. Or, excuse me, the Limestone Cave, not the mine. And here we are. We're gonna cast Dark Dragon, and realistically, all you have to do is do that, and then leave the screen. I, honest to goodness, wasn't sure what you had to do since it didn't really describe it in total detail on the site, so I started kind of doing laps, and it didn't work like that, so whatever I'm doing here, don't do it. You could just do exactly what I did at the start and leave, and we're good. Because as you can see, the dragon is no longer aggroed, he's actually back asleep already. And, yeah. The fail is actually me trying to catch a sneak peek, which you'll see very shortly. So we're gonna summon the Dark Dragon once again to bite on the Earth Dragon. He's awake. And if I just ran off the screen into the next area, everything would have been fine actually. But, I don't know why I decided to just stop and turn and there you go. Anyways, here is what you should have done from the jump and it would have been completely over with. Aggroed, run, off the screen, achievement popped. There you go. And now we went back to go get the Ring of Magic in the River of Lava area. In order to get back there, you have to do massive backtracking, which I did mention earlier in the run, but in order to get back there, it's at the end. I'll have the map up on the screen for you so you can see it. And now we're actually going to progress the game a little bit more. We're going through and getting the Water Dragon cutscene, and we're headed to the Tower of Storms. And if you recall, this was actually right after the Windmill Area, Lila's hideout, if you will. There's our boy. Great music, guys. Always bump that OST, okay? Telling you. After he goes on his little diatribe there, we could leave. And we're gonna wrap up the endgame stuff before the massive ring crafting segment. So we're going through the Tower of Storms now, which is a pretty quick area. You just constantly climb to the top until you get to the end with the Wind Dragon boss, who's actually a little tricky. I learned on my limited ring run, where I was also at low level because of that, yeah, at least certain spells can't hit him all the time. But I'll save that for another video. And I'm just kind of killing things along the way here because if we get gem drops, all the better, right? I don't know what it is about this area. This area is like not particularly thrilling, but I like the music and I do kind of like the idea of climbing to the top. I feel like this would have done very, very well in a Kingsfield game. But nevertheless, it's still fun. One of the allures of Eternal Ring is being able to go through the game pretty quickly, in my opinion. Like, it's actually fun. Sure, there's a few spots of memorization and whatnot, but for the most part, it's pretty linear and a lot of the areas are pretty short. But the Wind Dragon is also another boss that has an achievement to beat it without sustaining damage. I would say, probably in general, other than Soulus, I guess I would say the Wind Dragon's probably the toughest boss in the game. Like, if you come at the Wind Dragon at like a low level and you're not properly equipped, it could be pretty bad. It can be. But obviously at this point, I think we're level 99 judging by my stats, so it's gonna be pretty easy. And since we have the Dark Dragon summon, I'm pretty sure I'm just gonna basically smash that, and I think he might die instantly. We'll see. Like I said, I've beaten the game 3 times for all these achievements, so sometimes it's hard to remember what's what. So we were too far away there to cast Dark Dragon. That's something to keep in mind if you're going the summon route. And now he cast his spell, so he's doing his up in the air dive down, and then he'll appear at one of the 4 corners. I'm spinning around, making everybody want to vomit for no reason. It's not that serious. So we're gonna get a little bit closer and then cast it. And I think it does him in one hit here, yep. Defeat the Wind Dragon without taking any damage, and now the next achievement will pop when we are able to get the Wind Key. Or the Green Key. Sweet. So now we could return down to the bottom and go to the Snowstorm Plain. Also, if it wasn't obvious, there were no completely needed items in the Tower of Storms. There's a chest with a gem in it, but that's it. The next area here, the Snowstorm Plain, features one final regular magic ring. Oh, excuse me, I take that back. No, it is actually. It's the final magic ring. There's going to be the second to last invisible magic ring that you need true sight for, and then the enlightenment ring. It's a pretty long area, actually. I think speedrunners glitch themselves out of bounds by getting attacked by one of those flying enemies. I don't know which one. But again, another good spot if you're casual, trying to get gem drops and experience for leveling and whatnot. But yeah, it's long, but again, very straightforward. I think there's only one true offshoot, and that's to go get the Enlightenment Ring. So pretty much the first alcove that you're able to go into if you traverse through normally, you'll come to a treasure chest. I cleared the area first, that's why I had the weird cut up there. And there you go, read all about it, possess every single one of the extra rings, including both sacrifice rings, so that achievement is now done as well. And we are carrying on through here. Grabbing some gems as we go. There is the final regular magic ring. There's 2 hidden ones left, including one right before the Earth Key, which is the main reason that you're here. I quite like this area, actually. So the final hidden key of this area is right here, in a peculiar spot. If you don't have the true sight ring, you might look at it and go, why is that there? Well, that's why it's there. So we have one more ring remaining, which is going to be in the final area of the game before the second to last boss. And the main goal is the Earth Key. Pop that achievement, Earth Snow, I'm the guy with the rings. And the Earth Key allows us to go get access to the Eternal Dimension, the Eternal Cage, whatever it's called. So we head back here to the Magic Laboratory and put in all of our keys. And then it creates kind of like a platform that you can go down, and we'll meet with the Ring Creator guy. There you go, there's another achievement. And I'm definitely going to pop a save here, because here is where I'm going to start making all these freaking rings, basically. Coming soon. Not quite yet. This is basically the end of the road. Obviously, you have to go back and farm gems and whatnot. You have to do what you have to do. But this is the final ring creation station before the Eternal Dimension. We're getting a little lore there, lore dumpage. And then once you step on this warp, we will go to the Eternal Dimension, which I'm actually going to do. You have to sit through some amazing cutscenes like this with the seabirds and babies. And the Eternal Dimension is pretty straightforward. It's like literally point A to point B. Some of the enemies have chances to drop good items like the Bone Fencers, otherwise it's pretty pointless, other than, you know, the final 2 bosses of the game and the final hidden invisible ring. You can skip a little bit of it by doing stuff like this, but yeah, I don't know. Not much to say, really. Here is the final magic ring. It is hidden, you need true sight, and it's next to Lila.
No, not yet. Child, he isn't ready. I still have much to teach him.
We're gonna grab that baby. And we're gonna go through the door to fight the final version of the corrupted Captain Daryl. Rest in peace, Daryl, you son of a bitch. I think I actually used Dark Dragon on him, and I'm pretty sure he has a super high resistance to Dark, so that was a mistake. So I just recommend going back to Tornado. And doing the same exact strat that you did earlier, honestly. The only difference really is he's a little bit stronger and you have the chance to fall off the edge, otherwise it's like the same exact fight. And there you go. Defeat the Transform Captain for the final time and do it without damage. So after that, I recommend backtracking and saving, and that's where I started to do all of my ring making. I'm about to cut my audio off entirely here in a little bit, but I figured I'd give a little bit more commentary before that, and that's literally all we're doing, guys. On my computer, parts 16 through almost the end, which is like 30 something, it's just all ring making. There's gonna be trial and error. You're gonna flub up once in a while, you're gonna get bad RNG once in a while, but if you just like kind of stick with it, use a guide, and watch this if need be, you'll be fine. So there we made the Light Dragon. I think what I'm doing right now is I'm getting the Light Ring achievement, so we're making all of the light magic rings. Light and Dark have the least amount of spells and they're the most straightforward. And then once we're done with that and the achievement pops, I'm going Dark for quite a while. I don't know how long exactly, I think it might be close to a half hour. Like, it seriously takes a while to make all the rings in this game. There's no way around it. And some of the attribute rings in particular, you could use the same gem setup over and over and over and get different results each time, so there is some RNG involved. Now, for the main rings, such as the attack rings and the summon rings, those are pretty straightforward. I had one time where I swear it glitched. I tried to make the Fire Dragon summon, which requires 6 Fire Dragon gems, and that seems pretty straightforward, right? I did it, and the ring that got spit out was Bomber, which is fire gems equal to 20. I covered that in my review. That's the only instance that I saw an attack ring, a summon ring, or an assist ring give me weird RNG. Otherwise, it seems very straightforward. Now, the attribute rings, that's another story. There's certain mixed elementals, such as like wind heat and earth heat, that, you know, I've had them work right away for me, and then I had, you know, 3, 4, 5, 6 attempts in a row before something actually materialized for me. So just keep that in mind, everybody. And I will do my best to link as much helpful content in the pinned comment description below for people that are also achievement hunting this game. Have some indecisiveness there. And again, guys, if you're in need of some heavy-duty gems, I recommend going back to the Sealed Labyrinth. You will get a lot of high-quality gems there, and especially Light and Dark on level 2. And according to what I'm seeing, this should be the final ring for Light, and this should pop the achievement. And after this, I'm going Dark, as I mentioned, and we're just gonna play the footage, okay? So hopefully you enjoy, and hopefully it helps.
I shall pass down the knowledge of the ancients. I shall pass down the knowledge of the ancients. Pass down the knowledge of the ancients. I shall pass down the knowledge of the ancients. I shall pass down the knowledge of the ancients. 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 I shall pass down the knowledge of the ancients. I shall pass down the knowledge of the ancients. I shall pass down the knowledge of the ancients. Pass down the knowledge of the ancients. I shall pass down the knowledge of the ancients. 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 I shall pass down the knowledge of the ancients. I shall pass down the knowledge of the ancients. I shall pass down the knowledge of the ancients. pass down the knowledge of the ancients. I shall pass down the knowledge of the ancients. I shall pass down the knowledge of the ancients. I shall pass down the knowledge of the ancients. I shall pass down the knowledge of the ancients. I shall pass down the knowledge of the ancients. I shall pass down the knowledge of the ancients. I shall pass down the knowledge of the ancients. 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 I shall pass down the knowledge of the ancients. Pass down the knowledge of the ancients. I shall pass down the knowledge of the ancients. Pass down the knowledge of the ancients. I shall pass down the knowledge of the ancients. I shall pass down the knowledge of the ancients. I shall pass down the knowledge of the ancients. I shall pass down the knowledge of the ancients. I shall pass down the knowledge of the ancients. I shall pass down the knowledge of the ancients. I shall pass down the knowledge of the ancients. 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 I shall pass down the knowledge of the ancients. I shall pass down the knowledge of the ancients. I shall pass down the knowledge of the ancients. I shall pass down the knowledge of the ancients. I shall pass down the knowledge of the ancients. I shall pass down the knowledge of the ancients. I shall pass down the knowledge of the ancients. I shall pass down the knowledge of the ancients. 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 I shall pass down the knowledge of the ancients. I shall pass down the knowledge of the ancients. I shall pass down the knowledge of the ancients. I shall pass down the knowledge of the ancients. I shall pass down the knowledge of the ancients. I shall pass down the knowledge of the ancients. I shall pass down the knowledge of the ancients. I shall pass down the knowledge of the ancients. I shall pass down the knowledge of the ancients. I shall pass down the knowledge of the ancients. I shall pass down the knowledge of the ancients. I shall pass down the knowledge of the ancients. I shall pass down the knowledge of the ancients. I shall pass down the knowledge of the ancients. I shall pass down the knowledge of the ancients. I shall pass down the knowledge of the ancients. I shall pass down the knowledge of the ancients. I shall pass down the knowledge of the ancients. shall pass down the knowledge of the ancients. I shall pass down the knowledge of the ancients.
For the Steamroller achievement, I recommend getting to 99, getting a lot of those stat upgrade items in the Sealed Labyrinth, and using this ring combination. It worked for me. It can be hard to get your strength up above 200, so equip the Kaiser Knuckle.
Hey you! I saw you. What did you do to Lila?
And here's our boy.
She was talking to you.
Oh my god.
Stopped moving.
Alright, here's the last fight, guys.
Why?
Get to enjoy this wonderful cutscene. Absolutely amazing. So we're almost at the end of the, I guess, kind of slow play 100% part of it. After we kill Soulus here, everything will be complete except the speedrun achievement and the eternally ringless achievement. So there you go. We beat Soulus and without taking damage. And yeah. Catch you guys for a quick recap in the speedrun. Alright, second to last achievement hype, the power of speedrun, which is beat the game before the end of day 10 without acquiring the Power of Time ring. So obviously, don't get the Power of Time ring and go as quickly as you can. Now, I chopped up the footage into about 15 minutes. I want to say I beat the game on day 7, maybe day 8 at the latest. While you do have to do it fast, you can take your time in certain aspects. So the things that you're going to run up against, I'm just going to talk like general strategy, I guess, for the next 15 minutes. You're going to want to kill the things that are kind of in front of you, right? Because you're going to want to get as much experience as possible. There's also no limitations on rings or anything like that for this achievement. The only limitation is time. So you're going to want to farm for gems when you can. You're going to want to get better weapons when you can. And you're going to want to make sure that you have, you know, appropriate healing and status affliction, ailment healing items or rings to make it as easy as possible for you. Obviously, too, having the game kind of routed well in your brain helps. The game is pretty point A to point B. There are a couple areas, again, that can be a little tough. Mostly, this one's probably the biggest, you know, labyrinthy thing you're going to run into. I recommend going super hard for wind magic and wind rings. So because of that, I'm gonna shout out a few of the areas that you should be focusing on. In the initial cave, the Sahagins and the Mayflies could drop feathers, or feather gems, excuse me. The giant moths in the worshipping area, the moths in the Poison Valley, the Disposal Valley. The lizard men. Oh no, excuse me, they don't. Some of the ogres in the Limestone Cave, the ones that have the slings could drop them. Obviously, the Hawkmen, like in the ruins and in the Tower of Storms. Oh, the fire giants in the lava river. Like, those are enemies that you're gonna want to try to kill when you can, because, you know, you're gonna want to get, like, tornado and all the wind buffing things and stuff like that, because it's gonna make your life so much easier on this pseudo speedrun. Another thing I wanted to mention, too, prior to that point, the game's internal time goes really fast. Pretty much you're gonna, almost no matter how fast you go, up until the point where you kill the Black Werewolf boss, it's gonna be day 4, and then the in-game time slows down. I want to say it's close to like an hour a minute, but it could be like slower than that, and I don't think that time passes at all when you're in menus, or if you're in like the ring creation area. So keep that in mind, but at the end of the day, the name of the game is you gotta go fast, right? So the major issue that you're gonna run into is you can't grind endlessly while doing this, so it's not gonna be incredibly easy, and you'll actually see, I think I struggle with Soulus if I remember correctly. I think I do, yeah, I do, I have to. I use some shenanigans at the end, which you will surely be seeing. But yeah, we're just kind of doing a pretty quick clip montage here of my run. I just gave you my general strats for it. As long as you're somewhat familiar with the game, it shouldn't be that big of a deal, honestly. Now, if it was like beat the game in 8 days, there's little room for deviation or mess ups. And you could also use the same strat that you did before. You know, if you for sure got all of your achievements prior to this, you could save a million times, you know what I mean?
Small.
The only thing is you can't use save states on hardcore mode, but you could reload saves, obviously, and retry. So again, kind of keeping that same strat of just killing things when I can. If they're in my way, I'm really not trying to go out of my way to do it. We say hello there to the Earth Dragon, and we continue on through the Limestone Cave. I guess I'll just kind of pick up with where we are now since I yapped enough about strats. And, I mean, the same rules apply. Limestone Cave is a pretty good area to level up early to mid-game. You know, I don't really recommend going to the Cliff Forest because you don't need to at all. It's not mandatory, and a lot of those enemies are very difficult. It's just going to waste time. So that's one area that I would just skip altogether. Now we're going through my favorite on-rails section of the mines. Really not a whole lot to digest here. Want to get out of here as quickly as possible. I know that, again, there's a glitch for the speedrunners, but we're doing it the natty way. And like I said before, these guys give good experience. And as we go along here, collecting various wind gems, we will continue to make good stuff to make the rest of the game easier for us. Here you go, Ring of Gust to help boost our wind magic. Going through the Iron Mill area here, doing the same old stuff. As long as we have Tornado, we'll be fine against the boss. These guys are very difficult, by the way. Be careful when you mess with them. The reason why I was kind of veering off course a little bit was because some of the enemies can drop wind gems in there, and I was trying to create the following ring. Bam! You already know. Tornado. See you later, Daryl. So even though we're pretty low level here compared to the last run, Daryl's still gonna go down very easily. See you later. And we will gladly grab the Clarity Ring to help boost our wind. These guys were the ones I mentioned before that also have the chance to drop wind magic gems, so I do recommend it. Did he drop one here? He did not, but that's okay. Might as well grab that magic crystal while we're there. Same thing here, try to get Tornado off. You're at a lower level, so if you don't kill it right away, you could potentially get KO'd. Thankfully, before he's able to take off, we are Gucci. You won't drop a wind gem. You won't. Same old stuff, use Wind Cutter, meet up with our boy Matt Ross over here, and get yeeted once again. Oh, hello there, Lila. Goodbye there, Lila. Alright, Magic Lab hype. And we're just gonna do a straight beeline to the big cack. There's really no reason to do anything else there, honestly. At all. And do I scrub it up again here? I scrubbed it up a lot on this guy for some reason. Let's see. Oh, I do. We instantly just reload and continue to kill him as usual. For some reason, we had a mental breakdown there. So we are going to take our time in this area because good experience and tornado gems. As you can see, we almost died, but we also get the hunting sword too, which is good. This is definitely a good casual run-through area in order to progress with level and gem. And here, okay, I left this stuff in on purpose. Look how glitchy this is. That's not me moving, by the way. I had clicked the friggin' door like 8 seconds earlier and the game just started walking around, and that's not the first time. You'll see more of this. After I kill the wind dragon, it gets really glitchy as well. We got the goods to create Vortex, which is above Tornado. We will be using that as well later on. Going through the library, doing the same old crap, getting rid of the gargoyles, going up, flicking the switches. So much fun. It's also not as much fun when you've, at this point, played the game 3 times in a few days. That's another glitch. Forgot about that one. I thought the game froze completely. For some reason, my character just got stuck there and nothing happened. Very weird. This was an incredibly glitchy run. I don't know why. Maybe I'm going too fast for the game to process. Who knows? But we will grab the sacrifice ring, which is very, very important, as you'll see at the end. Even at a low level, the game isn't incredibly difficult. Obviously, with jacked up wind magic and power of Seek, you could do quite a bit. We're gonna go touch base with Lila here. We're gonna shut her up before she gets started. Continue on to the underground area. Meet up with the water dragon, my boy. Continue on to the what should we call it? Tower of Storms. Almost called it the Shrine of Storms. I think that's Demon Souls. Again, we'll kill these guys when we can because they have the propensity to drop those gems. Obviously, too, I didn't say, you're going to want to create... I created Earth Heal. Create a healing ring, guys. It makes your life so much easier. Self-explanatory, though. And we're just shooting wind magic at him. Actually, only Vortex. And surprisingly, it didn't take too long despite my lower level and his, you know, the fact that he is literally a wind dragon. And there's another glitch. I beat him, I start turning around on rails, and then magically the key appears. It's so weird, right? That's the third major glitch of like on rails transitioning that's happened in this playthrough. I was like, what the hell's going on? But we got the key, we're able to go through the Snowstorm Plain, ultimately to our goal to get the Earth Key, which means we can now go towards the Eternal Dimension, and we are doing A-OK on time. Gotta talk to our boy here. He must... Yeah, he's gotta let us know, even though this thing's trying to kill us from the sky, we still gotta talk to him before we can leave, okay? And it is time to have horrible menuing, apparently. And continue on back to the Magic Laboratory to get access to the Eternal Dimension. Plop, 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 plop. Do I make one last ring? I don't remember. Looks like I do. So I'm going to assume that I just created another magic ring to continue to buff up my wind magic. Obviously, you can kind of just stack things, even if you could have duplicate rings too. So there we have it. Ring of Storm. Continuing through the Eternal Dimension, we have to kill Daryl and Soulus. Daryl isn't going to be much of a issue at all, as always. But Soulus, on the other hand, a little bit more difficult than I thought. So we reached the end here. We got Lila. And we're going to go slap Daryl silly. Same strats as always. Nothing really changes. The only thing that was different there was I couldn't circle strafe around him because of the ledge. But we can once we bait him out and just keep spamming. Again, we are at a lower level and he's stronger now, so it takes a little bit longer than casually. We do switch over to Vortex, which obviously is a stronger spell. It just doesn't stay around and hit as much. There we go. And I recommend going back and saving, guys, because Soulus could be a jerk, which you will see here. This fight is freaking hard at a low level without, Whew, got wiped out. I didn't save, and I had to come back and fight Daryl once again. And then I did go back and save because I had time to do so. And I made sure to equip the sacrifice ring this time, and you will see that it saves my butt. So I really have no strats here. Keep shooting Vortex, keep circle strafing, and try to get a hit in when you can. This fight is actually really hard at low level, because you could just die like in an instant. And then the really crappy part is, once all those other ball things disappear and it's just you and Soulus towards the end, he starts going around the boss arena at 1,000,000 miles a minute. Which I don't remember if we see here or not, but we definitely do in the challenge run one. So I perhaps could have been more aggressive, but I was trying to be as conservative as possible using like almost every healing item I had. Soulus has a pretty high resistance to magic, so it is better to attack physically, but again, at a low level, you're not going to be doing that much damage anyway. And I don't have the Eternal Sword or the Kaiser Knuckle here. Almost died. Uh-oh, he's going ballistic. Really hard to keep track of him now. And this little baby in a bubble, it's like a Mack truck. Bam, almost one-shotted. Are you getting dizzy? Because I definitely am. Half-heartedly trying Tornado there, doesn't really do anything. Almost get one-shotted once again. We are running out of stuff, guys. Thankfully, Ring of Sacrifice, let's go. You'll see how it saved my butt. That was a good hit there. Nice little fadeaway swipe. Oof, and Ring of Sacrifice saved us. Brought us back from the dead with full health, full MP. Just realized I didn't have all my rings equipped there. That's a mistake. You might as well max it out. And thankfully he was almost dead. Power of Speedrun complete. Beat the game, I think, around day 8. And here's a little teaser, guys, because I'm not going to include it in this video, but here's the proof that I got all the achievements. You will see this run in its entirety elsewhere. Hopefully you enjoyed. Hope this helped. If you have any questions, hit the comments. I'll do my best to try to cover everything as concisely as possible. Thank you.